So much to talk about on today's Golden State Warriors today, but first, we want your feedback down in the comment section. It certainly helps us all the time here because we create so much content here on the channel, year-round coverage of the Golden State Warriors. What are you most interested in? Trade discussions, free agency content, NBA draft talk? Give me a 1, 2, or 3 down in the comment section right now. And with that, let's talk some Dubs hoops. What's up? Welcome in. This is Golden State Warriors Today by Chat Sports. I'm Chase Sr. We're talking about all three of these players here to my right on the docket for today's show. DeAndre Ayton, because the Warriors could fortify that front court. Bradley Beal, if the Dubs need a scoring punch. And then Isaiah Stewart, who kind of fulfills what the Warriors need in that front court, but a cheaper player. And because he doesn't demand as much offensively and defensively, maybe a better fit. Let's begin with player number 1 there, DeAndre Ayton. Fansided proposing a DeAndre Ayton trade to the Golden State Warriors. And it would be a very simple trade for Golden State. Now, a lot of you out there would really like this because the Warriors get rid of a player who you've become not a fan of, in Jordan Poole, to put it lightly. I went back, I've looked at the comment section, I've tried to tell you, Jordan Poole has some value. The guy can score the basketball, put the biscuit in the basket, and is elite at that. One bad year doesn't mean that he's an awful player and a bad cultural fit. So it's a player-for-player swap here, where Phoenix is able to get another scoring player in Jordan Poole on top of what they already have in Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. And there's been so much chatter about Ayton getting moved. Could Golden State make sense? Fansided tried to make sense of it by saying this: the Warriors get a potential defensive anchor and a very different kind of offensive weapon to add versatility to their system. On the other hand, they already have Kevon, Looney, and Draymond Green, and while they could use another big man, spending $30+ million on that position for the next 3 years may not be the best for resource allocation. Now, I want to talk about DeAndre Ayton further here because the last 2 finals, we have seen what happens with players who go from a bad culture and dysfunctional organization to a team with a fortified culture. Andrew Wiggins last year in the NBA Finals when he was the second best player on the Dubs behind Steph Curry, but also this year Aaron Gordon, who goes from the Orlando Magic to the Denver Nuggets. He fulfills a role that was asked that he take over, and he did it very, very flawlessly. For DeAndre Ayton, I know that the Suns have been a winner over the last few years. He's been a part of that, but maybe he just needs a change of scenery. And that culture with Phoenix, it is not the culture of the Golden State Warriors. That's why the owner was forced to sell the team. That's why they had to bring in a new general manager, and that's why they partially have a new coach right now as well. Last 4 years for DeAndre Ayton, the numbers have certainly been there. This isn't a conversation about a guy who stinks. He's not a bad player by any means. DeAndre Ayton is good. He just hasn't maximized his ability. But the Warriors as an organization are a team that maximizes a lot of individual players. 18-10, lob threat, guy who can shoot at least a little bit from the mid-range, protect the rim. Warriors could certainly use that. And if you have DeAndre Ayton, Draymond Green, and Kevon Looney in your front court, that gives you much-needed size with the Warriors, which the Warriors, were bereft of in that second-round series against the Los Angeles Lakers. So what would you do? Be the general manager. You can be the general manager because they're looking for one right now. Trade Poole for Ayton, Y for yes or N for no. As for Isaiah Stewart, another trade out there circulating on those internet streets, NBA Analysis proposing a deal for him. And this one, you don't have to give up nearly as much. You lose some shooting and some potential in Moses Moody. We're unsure what Patrick Baldwin is going to be. Isaiah Stewart, in my opinion, is actually very underrated big in this league. I like the way he plays, hustle, length, athleticism. Here's NBA Analysis on that deal. In all likelihood, Stewart is roughly a finished product. In other words, this beef stew is done simmering. Sorry, that's fine. Stewart is a good NBA player. He's a solid positional defender with the strength to hold his position. Stewart is also a solid floor spacer. Perhaps most importantly, he's willing to do the dirty work. In some ways, he's reminiscent of Kevon Looney, but unlike Kevon Looney for this team, in which Kevon Looney has not shot the basketball, Isaiah Stewart can actually shoot the basketball a little bit. The numbers are not going to blow you away. Did have the best year of his career this past year with the bad Pistons team, 11-8, 44% from the floor. He can shoot that corner three just a tad and look somewhat comfortable in doing so. The years before that, though, you'll certainly take those numbers on your screen as a guy who can either be a spot starter, or even a backup for the Dubs. Please make sure you subscribe to the show, and why wouldn't you, right? We're cooking up year-round Warriors coverage, whether it's news, analysis, trade buzz, trade rumors like on today's show. Help us reach 56,000 subscribers. We are 210 people away. Reminder too, NBA draft next Thursday, NBA free agency the following Friday. We're going to have you covered here on the program. Trade for Bradley Beal. This one, the juiciest of the three, but probably the most unrealistic of the three. That's coming up right around the corner. But it's summertime, and you can wear a basketball jersey during the summertime. Look fresh by the pool in doing so. And we have a bunch of Warriors jerseys on sale at chatsports.com/Warriors jersey, the city edition, the regular uniforms as well. All you have to do is use that link down below so that Fanatics knows that Chat Sports sent you. Here is that Bradley Beal trade here. So the Wizards obviously are going to get a lot and ask for a lot for a player who is a bucket getter in this league. Dubs get Bradley Beal on the receiving end. They send away Jordan Poole, Gary Payton, Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, and first-round picks in 2026 and 2028. I think that package is a little bit too steep. If Klay Thompson can rebound from his bad playoff showing and play like he did in the regular season, Steph Curry continues to play well, and we get DeAndre Wiggins of the NBA Finals last year, and then you find a way to maybe bring in another marquee player. You fortify that front court. You bring in some quality depth pieces. You can find a way to at least try to compete with the Denver Nuggets, who won that NBA championship last night. That is a haul for Beal, and I don't think he's worthy of that. His numbers in 2022-2023, 23 points per game. He shot 50+% from the floor, just under 37% from three. He did defer a little bit more as compared to previous years to Kristaps Porzingis. That's why the points per game numbers are down. From the field and from three, that's fine with volume. I just don't think that it's fine to give up that much for Bradley Beal. So NBA analysis proposing that trade, and I think it's just an offer that the Wizards would win as they try to rebuild that organization. And Bradley Beal also very expensive with a salary around $50 million. So you have to take that on as well. Would you trade for Bradley Beal? T for trade, P for pass. I'm typing P for pass because I would not do that deal. Make sure you subscribe to us here on Golden State Warriors Today for the best, most informative, most insightful, and we like to think entertaining Warriors content here on YouTube.